What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here, Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty, your local real estate expert here in Manhattan, Kansas. Today in this video, I want to talk to you about not necessarily house hunting, but the things that happen before we go and start looking at homes, and that is actually diving in and knowing what makes sense for you and your family and choosing the best neighborhood, choosing the best area of Manhattan for you and your family. And before you finish watching this full video, I'd love to hear from you guys watching. Put it in the comments below. What were some of the biggest factors when you were looking for your home, and why was it important to you? And I want to talk to you about determining your priorities. And so right off the gate, what is your lifestyle? Do you have kids? Are you single? Are you a young couple looking just to kind of be around restaurants and bars and things like that you can go and have fun with, walking distance to everything? Do you have kids that you want to be in a neighborhood that have mature trees and kids running all over the neighborhood and parks in close proximity? Are you in the retirement age and you want a home that's everything's all on one level and you don't want a whole lot of hustle and bustle around in your neighborhood? You know, you don't want to have the same lifestyle as what a young adult has with young kids and everything else that way. Determining those priorities of what fits your ideal and most ideal neighborhood is going to be extremely important, and probably my first thing on the list that we're going to talk about. You have the opportunity to go in and say, okay, I know what my priorities are. Now it's time to dive into the neighborhood. I talk about this in a lot of my videos all the time, where it's champagne taste on a beer budget. But that's important, right? Like, I know where my budget is. I want to make sure I have that spending ability to go do that. Having that ability to go and know what your priorities are, know what your budget is. You know, a Wyndham Heights neighborhood is going to be priced completely different than a State Street's neighborhood. Like, it's completely different. And then versus the ones that are closer to campus that are older homes. Like, all of those neighborhoods have different price ranges and different things that you're going to get with that particular home and that particular neighborhood. You start there, right? Do your search on your local realtor's website, do on realtor.com, all the big ones, right? Seeing what's available and what price ranges there actually are in that particular neighborhood. Are those the style of homes that you want? Are those the right ones that you want to do to put your family into? Then go into dive deeper and do more research on the fact of what's the crime rate. Side note, Manhattan is very safe. I promise you, there's very, very little crime compared to anywhere else in the country. Pay attention to the crime rates, because there are different spots of Manhattan that you do. I mean, there are higher areas of crime rate. So paying attention to that, paying attention to your home budget, paying attention to any unexpected costs. And what I mean by that is like, special taxes is a big one. That one is more often than not, most people don't even talk about special taxes before they buy a house because they don't know about it, right? So hiring that professional real estate agent is crazy important to be able to do that. And I think that's the big piece of all of this. Look at the social media. I mean, we have the Nextdoor app that actually you can see quite a bit of information in there. You have the social Facebook and local forums. If you decide that you want to do enough research, you can dive very, very deep into a particular neighborhood and area and things of that nature, because they're not going to hold back on anything, right? The keyboard warriors are out there for sure. Next thing on the list is going to be actually visiting the neighborhood and diving into the culture of it and being in that piece of it. I know that a lot of you probably watching this aren't going to have the huge flexibility of like going to be able to walk the neighborhoods and do all that kind of stuff, because you're coming in for a quick trip and getting out of here. But when you're here, go visit, go walk around, kind of see how well lit is it. Are there people out still walking around? Do you get a weird feeling when you're walking around at night? Those neighborhoods are there, you know, and just kind of being there, talking to the neighbors. I think that's the cool part of what we have here, is that one, you're in the Midwest, everybody's going to talk to you and they're going to love you and they're going to love on you. So they will talk. I promise you that piece of that. I think having those conversations with the residents, walking the neighborhoods and being there is going to be very important. And if you cannot do it, then talk to somebody that's here, or you can check out some of my other videos as well. My neighborhood, for example, very quiet neighborhood. At 8:30 and 3:30 every single day, it is a madhouse with children everywhere. I love it. Not saying that you will. And I think that's the thing that you need to understand, is that everything's going to be different. Next thing on the list is going to be considering your future growth and development, right? Are you in a brand new neighborhood that is still growing and potentially adding value to the home and everything there? Or are you in an established neighborhood that has been staying strong and appreciating every single year for many decades of past? Or are you in a neighborhood that's kind of declining because no one's taking care of their home and no one's taking care of their properties? Let's be real. You're buying an investment, right? You are buying an investment for you, your family, to be able to take this house, live in it, make it your own. But the goal, whether it's in 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, the goal is to potentially sell it, earn some income off of that, and be able to roll that into the next one that is going to be your home. Having that thought process will help you 1,000 times over than anything else that it ever will be. So you need to understand it's not just this year or next year or the year after. What does that look like for you in your future? But as long as you're taking care of it and you see that the neighborhood's a good neighborhood and people are taking care of their homes, you usually have a good bet. Talk to your professional real estate agent and talk to them. Like, how has this neighborhood been over the years? Has it appreciated? Has it stayed stagnant? Is it depreciating? Like, where are we at with the particular neighborhood and the homes in it? And what does that look like? Because if they don't know, you probably should get right away from that real estate agent. And if they do know, then they're going to have a good insight to what is actually happening in that particular area. Next thing is going to be evaluating your cost of living. I will tell you guys, I've had so many conversations about this. I think being realistic with yourself about what you can afford is the most important thing, right? Talking about taxes and utilities and home prices and special taxes. That's always a big one. Obviously, if groceries go up 5 times, 10 times what they once were, then in a matter of a couple years, it's happened. You can't plan for that. But the things that you can control, you really should try to understand them and understand that it could really kind of change the trajectory of where you're headed there with your home. Now, with that, I think you need to understand the overall cost of living with the homes. So payment, right now, fixed interest rates are very important. Again, they will fluctuate, but you can always change your interest rate later. So whatever you buy today, maybe it's your dream home. You don't care what the price is, you'll pay it whatever it is. I promise you, don't do that. Please don't do that anyway. I guess you don't want to be house poor. You want to make sure that you can afford that payment at the moment in time, because you can never bank on the interest rates going down. You can never bank on them going up either, but if you have that fixed rate and you can afford that, I think that is the most important thing. You do not want to be house poor. I repeat, please do not put yourself into a position that is going to hinder you and your family from running out of money before the end of the month happens. That is the worst thing you can ever do for you and your family, so please don't do that to you. Anyway, understand that there are that, and you have to understand that the taxes will change and things will go up, and being ready for any cost of living increases and things like that. Maybe not be those unicorn properties out there, but I think you have to come in with an open mind. Find out what those non-negotiables are, then let's go find and be open to other things. Knowing what a property, knowing what a home could be without actually having the work done to it. And what I mean is, like, what if we knocked that off and we made a big 12 foot by 20 foot long that steps down to a 12 by 12? That was my house, by the way. And you have to be able to see that. Like, I went into my house that I currently live in, and my wife walks in and she says, I like this one, I like the neighborhood, I like that one. And I said, okay, if we're gonna do this, this is what we're doing. And I was like, all right, we're moving, we're switching a door and a window, we're taking down this supporting wall, we're opening everything up, and we're going to make it be our home. And I think if you have the ability to see that, which I do, and I will help you do that and see all of those things, then I think it opens up the palette for you and your family, finding the right neighborhood, because that's the one thing you really can't change about a home is the location of it. You can, it's just really freaking hard. But my point is, though, you can mold and shape a home and remodel it to what your liking is. We just have to plan for that. That's fine. I'll be able to help you with the after repair value to make sure you're not putting your money in the wrong spot. That's a big piece that you need to be working with your real estate agent, your professional real estate agent, and understanding, making sure they understand, one, what you need and want, 2, understanding what the neighborhood can and should bring, the real estate trends, the developments, and everything else that comes with that. And then 3, just making sure it's a good fit for what you want. If they're not listening to you and they're just showing you everything under the sun, well, that's not doing you any good. 1, it's wasting the real estate agent's time, and more importantly, it's wasting your time, right? Like it's wasting the time that you could be spending with your family looking at a house that you know isn't necessarily going to work for you. So I think having that piece of the puzzle to help you kind of find your spot is going to be very important when you are relocating to Manhattan. Choosing the right neighborhood in Manhattan does not have to be overwhelming. If you follow these tips, you're going to be okay, I promise you. The big piece of this is just having a very clear picture of what you are looking for is going to be your most important piece of this. If you are relocating to Manhattan and you have any questions about anything real estate related, I would love to talk with you. My phone number is 785-477-5485. My email is kyle@homesforsalemhk.com. And please reach out just with random questions. I get them all the time. Oh, hey, I'm Kyle, I'm coming in next spring. Can you help me out? Absolutely. Reach out, call me, text me, get a hold of me. I want to hear from you and I want to make sure that you are taken care of. As always, if you are enjoying this content, please go and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future videos, and give us that like because it does help us grow the channel. And if you know of somebody who's relocating to Manhattan and they have questions about it, share this video with them. Until next time, thank you for watching.